Hey, what's up? I'm Brett with Premier Guitar. We're hanging in Santa Rosa, California at EMG. I'm here with James Kearney. What's up, dude?
Hey Brett, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. This is kind of a special treat, even for me. Like the whole active pickup thing. I come from the passive world. Um, I've always kind of wanted to get a really, I don't know, well-rounded education on active pickups in general, the technology that you guys have embraced. I think it's safe to assume when people think of active pickups, they think EMG. Um, you know, True that you guys were the first.
Absolutely. Yeah, at least it's my understanding that we were the first to get into mass production. I don't know that we, Rob Turner, quote unquote, invented active pickup technology, and I don't know if maybe that should even be on the record, but yeah, EMG was the first company that really brought active pickup technology to the forefront and made it available to OEMs and end users.
So breaking it down to the simplest form, what, how is an active pickup different from a passive pickup?
A passive pickup is powered by the input jack coming into the instrument. There's nothing else, giving it any juice. Having a battery and an internal preamp there inside the pickup, really the first thing that players are going to notice is complete silence in terms of the typical background noise. 60 cycle hum and things like that you get with a passive pickup are really eliminated. These are record quality pickups. Not only can you plug directly into a board and have nothing come back, but you can actually play with your settings much louder and not expect to have any of that additional noise coming through in the background. That's the first thing that a player will notice.
First thing, and we talked about that earlier, when you're on stage and you're firing through some high octane amps, things with a lot of distortion, a lot of gain. Let's think, Zach's rig. He's known for a pretty loud stage volume. Crushing volume, tons of gain. The EMG 81 handles that really well, and I think I've heard one of the reasons he uses that pickup is it can deal with that kind of output level coming in, and the guitar doesn't feed back or make noise. Correct?
Absolutely. He wouldn't be able to be pumping that much through his amps unless there was some. He'd be running so many noise gates to try and get the hum down that it would wind up having an impact on his tone. Going with the EMGs, he's really able to pump a lot through those amps without getting any additional background noise. Active pickups in general, not only is there a whole lot more sustain out of them, which a player like Zach will notice, but pinch harmonics and things like that, you're going to get a much bigger response out of an active pickup than you do a passive. Players often tell us when they're beginning to experiment with active pickups that they're able to pull off harmonics in places they didn't even know they were possible. And obviously a guy like Zach, harmonics are going to be a big part of his performance.
Yeah, let's say that is a big part of his performance. So James, what does it look like on the inside of the guitar?
On the inside of the guitar, the terminals come out and you've got a clip that looks like this. It literally plugs right into the back of the unit there. We use the arrow as a method of differentiating which side is up and down. But that's as difficult as the quick connect system is. Literally, some fingers is about all you need.
That's all you need. I noticed the pots are small. Explain that.
We use 25K pots with active pickups, 50K and above 250, 500K. While they work, the taper is no longer where it's supposed to be. So 25K pots are sort of essential with active pickups.
And that's because of the preamp, right?
Correct.
So take us a little deeper. You can't get too geeked out with the Premier Guitar crowd. Let's talk about the taper, a 500K pot, a 25K pot. Let's talk about the differences and actually why with the preamp this happens.
Without getting too technical, I really wouldn't even be able to myself. I'd have to involve our tech department. But while you can use other value pots, the taper actually turns it into more of an on-off switch. You literally, instead of rolling anywhere from 0 to 10 volume or tone-wise, it'll go from 0 being off the minute you hit 1. Instead of going like this, it literally becomes more of a straight arrow in jumps all the way to volume 10.
Sure, it just shoots up.
Yeah. So the taper really gets messed up if you go with anything other than 25K pots with the actives.
Okay. So talk to me a little bit about some of the models. We got some bass pickups out here. There's an 81, there's an 85. I mean, when I think of EMG, I always think of the 81. That seems to be the most famous. What's the scoop with that pickup?
It's a ceramic magnet. It's been around since the beginning of EMG, and it's by far one of our more popular models. It complements itself really well with like an EMG 85 that's got an Alnico magnet. The 81 being ceramic, it's so bright, hot, and brittle that you're not always looking for that kind of tone coming out of the instrument unless you're playing lead through it. So it definitely helps in some instruments to have the option of playing through Alnico pickups and putting like an 85 or even a 60A up in the neck. There's so many different tonal characteristics from each that you can really mix and match. And
here's the cool thing with your quick connect, plug and play system. I mean, a dude could rock a ceramic magnet, and if he was in the studio and he needed a different tone out of that guitar, he could switch to an Alnico.
You got it, yeah.
So that is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a definite advantage. I see some bass pickups out.
We've got some bass stuff here. We've got Music Man pickups that we finally released about a year or two ago. This is actually the 5-string version, so it's a real big monster of a pickup there. Our Telly stuff is real popular. Bass EQ systems. Passive has definitely, over the past couple years, grown quite a bit for us.
And is that what we're seeing here?
Correct, yeah. It's part of our HZ line.
Well, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys let me in on a little secret here today, and I want to talk about it because I think a lot of people are going to be excited. For years, you guys have been known as kind of the black covered pickup. I see a white one, and that's really been the only option, but you guys have a little trick up your sleeve.
We do. Probably the number one most requested pickup from EMG is our 81s, 85s, 60s, all the ones that guys have been using for years. They'd like them in chrome and gold caps, and EMG has finally gotten that formula down. It's been a difficult road for us. We certainly didn't want to just take the existing guts of our pickups and slap them into a chrome cover cap and hope that everything sounded right, because it certainly has a big impact on the tone of the instrument. So EMG is finally prepared to release chrome and gold. It looks like we're going to have chrome out first quarter of next year.
God, that is going to be nuts. I'll say this, it was kind of interesting when we were talking earlier too. I didn't realize you guys couldn't actually just put a pickup, a gold or a chrome cover on it, because the cover that you are using on the existing pickups has its own sonic imprint, correct?
Absolutely, it's conductive. It really wasn't even an option to just slap our pickups into another kind of cap there. We really had to do a lot of work on this end to maintain the tonal characteristics that our products were known for. The EMG and 85 and 81 have really distinct sounds that players have become used to over the years, and changing the look of it is one thing, but you better not mess with the tone too much. So
Sure.
it's R&D wise, it's been an interesting process going through all the different models and making sure that we maintain that the 81's integrity, so to speak.
Well, hey man, I think the chrome and gold is going to be a really cool thing for EMG. James, thanks.
Thanks so much, man. It was good seeing you.
Yep, it's great to learn about the active technology. I'm Brett. You're watching PremierGuitar.com.